So first of all, if we were to talk about the deal contours, the valuation, the enterprise valuation of Viom is close to about 20,000 crore rupees. Give us the details.
Yeah, so it's about 23,000 crore. And as you know, as everyone knows, that we have been having discussions with ATC and also many other investors and all also. So finally, we have been able to get the definitive agreements signed today with ATC. So almost many of the investors are coming along and they have signed this particular agreement. So SREI and a couple of more investors would be exiting fully. Some would, Tatas would definitely remain along with ATC.
Right.
The total transaction value would be close to about 7,600 crore and 23,000 is the total value. So 7,600 crore is what the shareholders will be getting at this particular juncture, the exiting shareholders.
Right. So Tata Teleservices, what would be the share, if you could just help us understand the shareholding pattern post this deal, how much will Tata Teleservices continue to hold in the company?
So they would be holding close to about 26%, and the ATC will be taking about 51% to start off with, and then gradually we don't know what would be the arrangements finally between the Tatas and the ATC and the other shareholders.
Right. The other private equity investors are also completely exiting, GIC and the others?
GIC is, but not everyone else, because we have still Macquarie would be continuing, SBI Macquarie would be there, they will be continuing. And most of the other shareholders are exiting fully in this, and basically SREI, we have taken a call to fully exit because we have been in this particular business for 10 years when we started in 2005, and that is one of the strategic approaches that we have for various infrastructure businesses, because when we started off investing in the telecom tower, we were the first company to start a telecom tower business as an independent telecom tower company.
So there is the release also talks about ATC might look to increase its stake at a later point of time as well. Is there a timeline? Has the company indicated as to how soon could that happen? Because ATC is a huge company globally. I'm sure they have big plans for India as well, and also the kind of valuations that could happen for this.
See, that is very difficult to say what ATC decides to do subsequently along with the other shareholders. But at this particular time, I think that it is good also from the perspective that for the country this will be one of the largest FDI investments which is happening in this particular year, because now they will have to go in for the necessary regulatory approvals. So all of us will have to take the necessary regulatory approvals which is required primarily for the FIPB, etc. And as soon as it happens, the transaction the transaction is concluded, whereas the SP, etc. has been signed, but where the money comes in and the handover
that could happen next year.
It could happen next year, it could happen by the end of this year also, by December. It all depends upon the government approvals. How much time does that take?
So Tata Tele will hold a little over 25% stake, as you mentioned, in the venture. Do you envisage Tata Tele exiting this venture? Because even right now, they had majority stake, but it was Viom that had the management control, so to say. So do you think they would look at the right opportunity and exit this venture?
Yes, I think it's very difficult for me to take a conjecture on what Tatas would be doing on this and Tata Teleservices, whether they will be exiting or continuing, because it makes also sense for them, because they are one of the users of the towers also, because all the telecom towers. So I think that, and especially with ATC coming in, so we are, as we were managing the business, so as we are coming out of the management, so similarly when ATC is coming in, they are very strong in management of this particular business. So therefore it is moving into very good hands. And in the last 10 years, this company has done extremely well. The cash flows have been good. The EBITDA has been very robust. So therefore I think that ATC is also taking over a good portfolio of infrastructure assets, and they have the management capability to take it forward from here.
Right. So if we were to talk about how will these funds be utilized, help us understand how will the funds be utilized.
See, for SREI, we basically have a couple of our divisions which we have been continuously mentioning also, that one is the equipment financing business, infrastructure financing, and also a strategic investments. Strategic investments basically has grown over a period of time. We started this about 8-10 years back, because we saw that there was an opportunity, that there were investments which could be made in infrastructure, and many people were not wanting to do it because they did not know how to build up the whole thing and take it forward.
Right.
So that is the reason why we built up this strategic investment portfolio of roads, power, telecom tower, roads, power, ports, SEZs, etc. And it is not for SREI to continuously keep on holding it. So as we see that there is a value for it, and when we think that it is an appropriate time for us to exit out of many of those particular sectors, we can. And if we feel that no, it is a value accretive going forward also, then we will continuously be remaining there, and we may dilute some stake in those particular portfolios. So basically the idea is that how do we enhance the shareholders' value, and this is one of the ways that we feel that we can do it best.
Right. And if we were to talk about the debt as well, ATC of course will take a part of the debt as well. What happens to the remaining, sir? The 6,500 crore debt that is on Viom's books?
So that would be going along with the company, because they are taking over the company, the shares of the company. So when they take over the shares of the company, it's the entire enterprise, which also includes debt, and the debt has got reduced substantially, and it has happened through the internal accruals, and the internal accruals will continue. So I don't think so that if ATC needs to raise more money, it is going to be a problem for them, or the company does not have enough cash flow to also to be in a position to help them to grow and put in more towers as and when it is required. So that would be a decision which ATC would be taking.
What's your outlook on the tower business? It's an annuity sort of a business, of course, but what's your outlook on the telecom tower?
I think the telecom tower is a good business, and as it has been proven, because Bharti Airtel has done well, Viom has done very well, so therefore, and there is an opportunity, but it is
but
any
this was a deal
infrastructure.
that was in the pipeline for over 2 years, so you were trying to structure this deal for a fairly long time. So
no, but actually, as you know, we were looking at more from the valuation perspective, because see, we didn't want to sell it cheap,
right?
And because there was value which has been created, so when we thought that we were getting an appropriate value, that is the time that we exited, which is very much in tune with the strategy for SREI in general.
Okay. Sir, my last question in terms of outlook for your business overall, infrastructure, road sector, they've picked up quite significantly in the last 1 year. What's your outlook for the infra space?
Infrastructure space, you know, would do well. At this particular juncture, is it doing well? No. And yes, both, because infrastructure is quite varied, and it encompasses roads, power, ports, SEZs, and there are so many sectors, water. So in every sector something good has happened, and more needs to be done in those particular sectors. So therefore, if we touch on every sector, it is going to take a long time, and we can do it sometimes later. But I think that the sectors which would pick up very soon would be the road sector and the power sector.
Right.
Power, road, definitely we can see it, you know, the line of sight is very clear in the road sector, but in the power sector there are still certain issues which needs to be tackled, and I am sure that the government is working on it. As soon as it gets tackled, then I think that will open up. But infrastructure is something which is not for someone who is coming in and thinking that, you know, you can make money very quickly. You can't make a quick buck. It takes a long time, and you have to have the patience. You must have the understanding of the sector.
Right.
So that's it.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.